So on this Memorial Day for Faces of Mankind, we're actually highlighting some of the people who we have painted who are veterans in our city. And so on behalf of Faces of Santa Ana, I want to introduce you to James and Charlie. I actually painted James and Charlie a few years ago. James is a war veteran and has spent many years on the streets after his time in the service. I want to share a really lighthearted story about a moment I had with James. His painting actually sold, and one of his wishes, he said, Brian, I want to spend a week in a hotel. I don't often get to shower, I don't often get to sleep in a nice warm bed, and so we booked him 7 days in a nearby hotel in Santa Ana. After he checked in a couple hours later, James called me and he said, hey Brian, I want you to come over, come spend time with me and Charlie. I want you to see the room. And so I drove over there, knocked on his hotel room door, and James opens the door with no clothes on, just a pair of underwear. He had like the white tidy whities on, swings the door open. He's this older gentleman, steps outside and welcomes me into his room. And at first I was extremely taken back. I said, James, what are you doing? And James said, well, you don't understand. He said, when you go home at night, you get to take off your clothes. You get to have a moment where you can relax in something comfortable in the privacy of your home. He said, for years, I've had to go to sleep every single night with pants, a sweater, sneakers, socks on. He said, I haven't been able to just undress, sit down and watch TV in many years. And I never thought about that. I never thought about that as a thing that was such a privilege until James opened his door in his underwear that day. And he taught me something. He taught me about the things that we often take for granted. So I want to thank James for his service. I want to thank James for his friendship and the story and the things that he's taught me. On this Memorial Day, I just want to say God bless you all. And I'm just hoping and praying that all of you can step into stories that ultimately change the way you see, change the way you think, and change the way you love each other.